This is Rob from Rob's Reviews, and I just want to say to each and every one of my subscribers, thank you very much for getting me to 100. You know, I started out doing this for fun. That's what I like to do. I'm very passionate about movies and other things, but my main staple is movies. I like going to the theater. I like renting them from a video store, watching Netflix, collecting movies, VHS, Blu-ray. It's just a really big thing for me in my life, and I just want to thank each and every one of you. So what I want to do for my 100 subscriber special is I want to do a top 50 favorite films. Now, I got this idea from James Rolfe, aka the Angry Video Game Nerd, which, you know, I do watch his channel all the time. I've been watching since the earlier days of the, Angry Video Game Nerd. But he's big on movies, and he did a video of his top 50 favorite films. So, James, if you're watching, which you probably aren't, but I get my inspiration from him, and creating my movie room and stuff like that is also part of that inspiration. So this is going to be my top 50 favorite films for my 100 subscriber special. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to do this in two parts, 25 and then 25. So I do have these in order from 1 to 50, but I'm going to start with 50 and go down to 1. Thank you very much for tuning in. Enjoy. Alright guys, welcome to part 1 of my top 50 favorite films. I hope you guys enjoy my personal list, just my personal opinions. I'm going to be doing 50 to 25, so hope you enjoy. Starting with number 50, The Revenant. Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hardy. Leonardo DiCaprio won Best Actor, and of course this won Best Director as well. It used real-time lighting when they shot outside and stuff. I love the story to this. It's just an unbelievable film, and I had to add this in my top 50. So number 50 is The Revenant. Number 49 is Taken, Liam Neeson. This is 100% my favorite Liam Neeson film. It does have 2 sequels, and I don't think the sequels were as good, not nearly as good. But basically, this film, his daughter is taken. She's in another country, and he basically has to go find her by using his skills. I have a very specific set of skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. I love this movie. I can watch this over and over again. Great action, and Liam Neeson at his best. So number 49 is Taken. And really quick, in this list there are different genres: horror, action, comedy, just all kinds of stuff. So, alright, number 48 is Stephen King's The Mist. Frank Darabont directed this, obviously, with Thomas Jane. About creatures that are in this mist that engulfs the town. And these people are held up in a grocery store, with Thomas Jane and his son, and they're trying to figure out what this mist is. And people start dying off one by one. There's these different creatures that appear. I love the effects in this movie. I love the characters. Just a really, really cool idea. It sort of reminds me of The Fog a little bit, but really awesome. So that's number 48, The Mist. Number 47 is a film that I grew up with in 1990, and to this day it still holds up. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. In my opinion, the best adaptation of the Turtles live action that we've ever had. The new Ninja Turtles are okay. Of course they're big and CGI and stuff, but these were actual people in suits, and I love the portrayal. It's a very dark movie with Shredder and Casey Jones. Really, really cool. And I think they did a good job. Steve Barron actually directed this. So this is my favorite out of the live-action Ninja Turtles films. So that's number 47. Number 46 is an all-time classic, and definitely one that I grew up with, and that is The Wizard of Oz. Now this would probably be higher on my list, but there's just so many great ones. You know, this movie goes from black and white to color when Dorothy goes into the land of Oz, meets all these different kinds of characters, and this movie is character driven because of all these characters that joins her in her quest to get to the to the castle, the Emerald City, to see the wizard. And they follow the Yellow Brick Road, and it's a musical. So awesome film. The Wizard of Oz still holds up today. That's number 46. Number 45 is definitely one of my favorite comedies of all time, as well as my favorite Robin Williams film, and that is Mrs. Doubtfire. I know that they were thinking about making a sequel or another Mrs. Doubtfire movie before Robin passed away, rest in peace. But it was directed by Chris Columbus, and I think the jokes were amazing. This even has some great deleted scenes. If you haven't seen the deleted scenes, those are hilarious. The deleted scenes are hilarious, and I wish they would have kept some of them in the film. But yeah, I just laugh every time I see this movie. It's just great. So this is Doubtfire. That's number 45. Number 44 is definitely my top 5 favorite Patrick Swayze films. It includes Demi Moore and Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost. Say something, Automate. Say something. Sam Wheat. Patrick Swayze plays Sam, who gets murdered, and he comes back as a ghost to basically, because he has unfinished business, and he wants to warn his girlfriend, Molly, played by Demi Moore, that there's a killer on the loose and who the killer is. And they use Whoopi Goldberg. She can talk to the dead and stuff like that. And you follow Sam on his quest to try to get answers, and I really, really love this. I love the whole ghost reality, and then the living side of reality. I love how they reference both sides. Pretty cool. So Ghost is definitely in my top 50. That's number 44. Number 43, this movie reminds me all the time when I watch it what it was like to be in high school. The Breakfast Club, about all these kids who are in detention that have something in common, but yet they're different. I mean, you have the jock, you have the basket case, you have the nerd, you have the princess, you have the criminal, all together in this one room for detention, but they realize that they do have more in common than they think. Even though they walk down the halls of school, they have reputations. But that all goes away when they're together by themselves in detention. So how do you make a movie about kids in detention all day? How do you make that good? Well, watch this movie. It's excellent. Number 43, Breakfast Club. Number 42, this is just my personal opinion, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Now, most people will say that, they'll say their favorite is Raiders of the Lost Ark. I love the first 3 Indiana Jones, okay? I just love them. This one is my favorite because I've seen this one the most. This is a darker film than the others. It's actually more gory too. The whole with the heart scene and stuff. The fact that they're eating those snakes and monkey brains and things like that. Just everything about this. I love the characters. I love Short Round, played by Ke Quan from Goonies. Kate Capshaw. I don't know, everything about this. I love the music. I love the adventure. They jump out of a plane in a raft, and then they land on a river, and it's crazy. So the Temple of Doom is definitely my favorite Indiana Jones film, but it's definitely in my top 50. Comes in at number 42. Number 41, another film that I grew up with, and it's definitely one of my favorite Tim Burton films, and that is Beetlejuice with Michael Keaton. You got Gina Davis, you got Jeffrey Jones, Catherine O'Hara from Home Alone. You know, she played the mom in Home Alone. You got Winona Ryder, who's young in this movie, Alec Baldwin. But there are some scenes in this that really creeped me out when I was younger. You know, when Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin, they cross over to the dead side, and, you know, they make these weird faces, like, you know, plucking their eyeballs out and using them on their fingers and like stretching their nose. And there's just, I like the different kinds of looks of the ghosts and the dead people in this. And you know, Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, he's hysterical. I know they were thinking about making another one, which I'm actually interested to see if Michael Keaton can do it again. But yeah, I'm all for it. Beetlejuice. Don't say his name 3 times. That's number 41. Number 40 is also a film that I grew up with that I still think holds up today, and it's one of the creepiest films, and it is The Witches. I always talk about the scene with the painting, about the little girl who goes missing, and her father sees her in the painting, and she's like, "Papa, Papa." They're telling that scary story about how witches can make children disappear. He sees her in the painting, and throughout the years, she's getting older in the painting, and she moves in the painting, and then all of a sudden she just dies because of old age, but she's stuck in the painting. I love the scary stories they talk about the witches here. And, you know, Jim Henson Productions, they did a fantastic job with the way the witches looked. The fact that they had no toes, they're bald, they wear wigs, they don't like the scent of children that, you know, smells like dog manure. So, like, this movie is very well done, and I think today it still holds up. It still has that creepy vibe to it. I don't know, it just maybe because when I was younger, maybe it scarred me a little bit, I don't know. Anyway, The Witches, that's number 40. Number 39. Director Joe Dante, he amazed me with this film. I love the direction of this, and it was also written by Chris Columbus, but you had Steven Spielberg, Frank Marshall, and Kathleen Kennedy as executive producers, and then you had Jerry Goldsmith, who did the music. A lot of talented you know, crew members and everything. Gremlins. I love the music. I just love the story about, you know, this kid gets a Mogwai gizmo, and he has to follow a set of rules. Don't expose him to sunlight, don't feed him after midnight, don't get him wet. He does everything except expose the sunlight. That happens at the end, but you know, he feeds him after midnight. Well, first he gets them wet, and then it multiplies different Mogwais. Then he feeds them after midnight, and they turn into gremlins. And the gremlins are just, it's like they're scarier. They wreak havoc. You know, I love it. I love this movie. I even like the second one, but the first one is definitely the best. That's number 39. Number 38 is one of the best action films ever made, in my opinion, and it stars Keanu Reeves. Speed. You know, a basic action film about a bus that is you know, it has a bomb on it, and it cannot drop below 50 miles an hour. If it does, the bus explodes. And so Keanu Reeves is on there, and he's trying to make sure that, you know, everyone's okay, and like he needs to keep the bus above 50, and Sandra Bullock is driving. You have Dennis Hopper, who is the villain in this. Way to go, Jack. Way to go. I love this movie. It's got a great soundtrack. Mark Mancina did the soundtrack to this. It's got Jeff Daniels in it as well. But an amazing action film right here. Speed. Number 37 is, this movie blew me away when I first saw it in the theater. Independence Day, with Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum. You know, about these aliens that come to Earth that are in these city-size spaceships. I mean, you think of like spaceships coming into, you know, coming into our atmosphere and destroying things, like War of the Worlds, like little ships or whatever. But these are city-size. These cover a whole city and will destroy it in one blast. I always thought that was amazing. And these little ships come out of the big ships. And these aliens are like 8 feet tall in like these suits and stuff. Like when they came out with the sequel, I was very disappointed. I thought they could have gone balls out with the sequel. But this is definitely one of my favorite sci-fi action films ever. Independence Day. I think this holds up very well today as well. Okay, so that's number 37. Number 36, people probably wouldn't agree with this, but this is my favorite out of the King Kong films. And most people would say the 30s version. The 30s version comes second to me. And it's because I grew up with this one. And I think this one is just all around better. Jeff Bridges, and you got Jessica Lange in her first role. King Kong 1976. Now, I like Kong's look in this. It reminds me of Kong Skull Island King Kong. It's the same, it almost looks the same. But I like his growl, his look. This movie's bloody. It's actually very dark. And, you know, with the tribes people and all that too. I just love this movie. I love everything about it. He doesn't really fight anybody except this giant snake, which is okay, but the whole ending when he gets shot up it's crazy. But yeah, I love this movie. The soundtrack as well. It's got a great soundtrack. So King Kong 1976 is another one that I really love. That comes in at number 36. 35. When it comes to Robert De Niro, I love a lot of his crazy roles that he does. You know, Taxi Driver, The Fan, and here's another one, Cape Fear. This is also, I believe, a remake. I didn't see the original, but this has Robert De Niro, Nick Nolte, and Jessica Lange as well. Scorsese did this. It's fantastic. You have Robert De Niro, who plays this convict who gets out of prison after 14 years because his lawyer buried the report of him raping some girl, and so he wants to get back at Nick Nolte, who was his lawyer. He wants to get back at him and his family for what he did, for putting him in jail for 14 years. Really, really good movie. I definitely recommend this. Cape Fear. That's number 35. Number 34 is one of my favorite Tom Cruise films. This would definitely be my top 5 Tom Cruise films. Let me just say that. I think this movie is amazing, and I love the direction, everything about it. I think, yeah, Tom Cruise was actually one of the producers, and it is The Last Samurai. Everything about this movie is great. The soundtrack is amazing. I love the soundtrack. But you got Ken Watanabe in this. You know, Tom Cruise basically plays this war general, and the Japanese kidnap him, take him to the village, and he basically starts to, I want to say, he starts to have respect for these people, the way they're living and stuff, and you know, they use swords, they don't use guns, so he's basically interested in this culture, and he starts to turn basically on their side. So I don't know, it's so good. This movie's so good. If you have not seen The Last Samurai, you are missing out, let me just say. That's number 34. Number 33, one of my favorite films as well, Arachnophobia. This movie made me kind of afraid of spiders. It was directed by Frank Marshall. Yeah, with John Goodman and Jeff Daniels. Definitely one of my favorite Jeff Daniels films. Basically, spiders infest this small town that are poisonous. They're from the Amazon. And they start to reproduce and stuff. And spiders start appearing in popcorn and cereal boxes and showers and all this kind of stuff. Really, really good effects. Really good movie. Number 32, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, I've talked enough about this movie. Wes Craven at his best. Freddy Krueger, an iconic horror character. He gets you in your dreams. If you die in your dreams, you die for real. Very, very good concept. I love this movie, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Number 31, Unlawful Entry, fantastic thriller with Ray Liotta and Kurt Russell, Madeleine Stowe, where this cop is in love with Kurt Russell's wife. Ray Liotta is in love with Kurt Russell's wife, Madeleine Stowe, and so, you know, he goes around protecting this family, even though they don't need protecting anymore, but he, you know, he tries to do anything to get with this girl, and even if it means going through Kurt Russell. I love Ray Liotta's performance in this. Definitely a good thriller. Number 30, also another good thriller, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. I've talked about this a lot too. Rebecca De Mornay at her best here. Basically, she disguises herself as a nanny to get even with this family that accused her husband of rape. The husband kills himself after the accusations, and so she, Rebecca De Mornay basically goes to this family to try to get revenge on them and make their life miserable, stuff like that. Really, really good movie, Hand That Rocks the Cradle. That's number 30. Number 29, E.T. What more can I say about this that hasn't already been said? Steven Spielberg film about, E.T., gets left on Earth and meets this kid and his family. Elliot. Drew Barrymore's also in this, and Dee Wallace. But, the kid and E.T. start to become friends, and he starts teaching him things, and he needs to get E.T. back home. And they create like this machine that sends out a signal so E.T. can phone home. There's some parts here that are hard to watch, but really good. Alright, so number 28 is Stephen King's It. What more can I say about this film? Tim Curry as Pennywise. Amazing. This is a TV miniseries, okay? TV miniseries, and it's great. I wasn't really afraid of clowns, but this movie, I thought Pennywise was really cool. So, about this group of kids, they basically are being stalked by this clown, this entity that kills children, and they band together to stop this entity. And so, they have a fight in the sewer and stuff like that, and then when they grow older, they make a pact to come back if this thing is still alive, like 30 years later, and it does happen. So then they go back, and it's got an amazing cast. John Ritter and Richard Thomas and all of them, but it was directed by Tommy Lee Wallace. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna cut it off right there. I guess I didn't get to 25, but I gotta cut it off. I will be back with part 2. So, hope you enjoyed part 1. Stay tuned.